over the hump and actually pull off a win here.
So we've been talking about taking steps 4 years of the Bulldog team, and tonight could potentially be a big step, but like we said, won't be easy against an Estherville Lincoln Central team that won 24 games last season and ended up making it to the state title game before losing to eventual Class 3A champion Solon. It's going to be a treat tonight to start off the month of December. The Algona Bulldogs hosting the Estherville Lincoln Central Midgets coming up next on KLGZ 98.5 FM, AM 1600, and at the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Gray Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Binkin at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona Tree Service.
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services, view their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station. Service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction. Let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game. Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
The Wrenchman Truck and Trailer Repair, full-service repair shop in West Bend.
Tango Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Algona Chiropractic Clinic, it's your future. Let's make it healthy together.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
It's time to meet the starting lineup for the Algona Bulldogs.
Hayden McLaughlin, sophomore, number 22.
Extra pass to Hayden McLaughlin, left wing triple, and she buries it. Bulldogs answer right back.
Hayden Coleman, sophomore, number 2.
Coleman, the answer, yes! Hayden Coleman from downtown.
Paige Schmidt, senior, number 10.
Passes away from the double team in the corner to Schmidt. Passes up the shot, she'll drive in, got all the way to the rack and scored it.
Casey Van Otterloo, senior, number 14.
No look pass to Van Otterloo, right wing three, and she swished it! Casey Van Otterloo is unconscious tonight.
Lauren McLaughlin, senior, number 40.
Top the key to Lauren McLaughlin, squares for a three-point ball, and she hit it again! Keep shooting at Lauren McLaughlin! Tip-off of your game is coming up next on Hometown and Home Country Radio. National anthem wrapping up here at Algona High School. So you just heard the Bulldogs starting lineup under fifth-year head coach Noel McLaughlin. For Estherville Lincoln Central and head coach Don Martindale, it is a 5-senior starting lineup. You talk about windows in sports and ELC's window of championship contention. It's open right now, and part of that is this excellent senior class. The starting lineup for ELC, the senior number 3, Kara Schiltz, checking in at 5'3", the 5'11" senior number 20, Riley Yeager, the 5'7" senior number 23, Minnesota State Mankato commit Haley Stokes, the senior number 33, checking in at 5'5", Julissa Smith, and senior number 34 at 5'8", Hillary Rushy. Again, I'm Tyler Lance alongside Greg Stewart with you for tonight's game as Algona takes on Estherville Lincoln Central. 0-1 Bulldogs against the 1-2 Midgets, two teams that are substantially better than their early record and playing some tough competition. Bulldogs wearing the white uniforms tonight, home uniforms for Algona with the black Algona across the front, outlined in red. ELC in the road, black uniforms, the red Midgets on the front, outlined in white, and red numerals on the front and back. Lauren McLaughlin tries to win the opening tip. She deflects it sideways, ball's knocked out of bounds, and it was last touched by Algona as Schmidt tried to chase it down, and ELC will open with the basketball. It'll be Stokes at the controls for ELC. Kara Schultz down beneath us inbound. Estherville Lincoln Central last season averaged 61.6 points per game offensively. Bulldogs allowed it just under 44 points per game. Rushy has the basketball on the left wing, hands it off to Schultz curling around. Schultz attacks right down State Street, got stripped of the ball, lost it out of bounds, but the Bulldogs touched it last. An early poke away by the Bulldog defense. Being active defensively tonight, key for Algona, limit ELC's opportunities to have Stokes with the ball in her hands, but easier said than done. Ball's inbounded on the left block to Rushy, bangs it off the glass, missed it. Offensive board is picked up by Yeager, and Yeager was fouled. Hayden McLaughlin, the guilty party that time. Bulldogs did a nice job defensively there, but allowed an offensive rebound and a putback attempt. They're going to say that foul was on the floor as ELC will keep it. Algona had a rebounding disadvantage against Forest City last Tuesday night, 32-18, including 11-4 on the offensive glass. As ELC inbounds the basketball, Stokes works with it, finds Smith underneath. Smith dropped it and picked it back up, flips it back out beyond the perimeter to Stokes with 7.5 minutes on the clock. Stokes heaves from way downtown, missed it off the back of the cup. Long rebound out to Hayden McLaughlin at the top of the key. She'll give the ball to Kuhlman at the controls of the Bulldog offense. A Bulldog offense that averaged 57.5 points per game last season, number 1 in the North Central Conference. High post to Hayden McLaughlin, passes right side to Kuhlman. Works the baseline, wings it across to wide open Casey Van Otterloo. Releases on the 3, a little bit too strong, and Stokes boxes out Schmidt for the rebound. Van Otterloo was held scoreless against Forest City on Tuesday night, looking for that first field goal of the season. Still scoreless here 1 minute into the first quarter as Algona takes on Estherville Lincoln Central. Working with the basketball right now, it's Yeager, the 5'11 senior, flips it underneath, nobody home, intercepted by Hayden Kuhlman. Kuhlman injects a little bit of pace, brings it up the court, looks ahead to her teammates, finds McLaughlin on the right wing. Lauren McLaughlin back to the left to Kuhlman, head fakes, drives in and jump stops outside the lane, finds Van Otterloo at the foul line. Now top of the key to Hayden McLaughlin, her 3-point ball rattles out, no good. Rebound picked up by Yeager. Yeager averaged 14.9 points per game, 9.2 rebounds per game last season for an ELC team that went 24-3 and won the Lakes Conference. Made it all the way to Wells Fargo Arena for the 3rd year in a row as well as Yeager works with the basketball on the right side. Gets it to Stokes. Stokes in the lane, tried to go up and under. Schmidt cut that off. Right back to Yeager. Yeager drives down the paint. Missed the shot left side. Smith offensive rebound. Smith in traffic and Smith shuffled the shoes. Sandwiched in between Kuhlman and Van Otterloo and she panics there, turning the ball over.
Well, much like the Forest City ball game, we've gone just about 2 minutes with no scoring yet.
Now, once again, a tepid early start on offense, and we'll see ELC bring the full court pressure out as Yeager guards McLaughlin in the backcourt. Lauren McLaughlin, though, an adept ball handler, brings it across. Finds her sister Hayden on the right side. Hayden passes into the lane. Nobody home. Intercepted by Yeager. Another turnover as these teams are having trouble holding on to the basketball. Yeager drives in left side. Shot bothered by Lauren McLaughlin. Great defense to stay vertical and avoid the foul. Bulldogs run the other way. Kuhlman underneath to Schmidt. Schmidt lets the defender fly by. Takes one dribble. Shot no good. Cleaned up by Hayden McLaughlin. Her shot no good. Schmidt offensive board and the kick out to Kuhlman. Kuhlman drives in. Lost control of the ball on the drive. And it's out of bounds back to ELC.
Wow, a couple of golden opportunities there. Bulldogs not able to capitalize, but did get a couple of second chances there.
Yeah, let's see if the Bulldogs can pick up that rebounding effort. That was an underrated aspect of losing to Forest City. Indians played very physically on the glass, out-rebounding Algona 11-4 in offensive boards. On the right side, it's Yeager. Yeager, nice find of the cutting Stokes. Missed on the layup, though. A rare miss by Haley Stokes, and we stay scoreless 2.5 minutes in. Lauren McLaughlin on the left baseline, back to the bucket, now works her way in, hooks the shot up, off the heel, no good, and Smith rips the rebound away from Hayden McLaughlin. These teams ice cold early on and shooting from close range too. In the middle of the lane, it's the senior Yeager. Gets it off to Rushy. Rushy tries to split 2 defenders, bangs it off the window and scores. ELC on the board first with 5 minutes left in the first, 2-0 Midgets. Rushing a 9-point-per-game scorer last season. Bringing it across is Lauren McLaughlin. Passes left to Hayden McLaughlin. Bulldogs have been able to get it across half court, no problem so far. As Coleman works in between the circles right now, 4:47 on the clock, and ELC the early 2-0 lead. Algona being very patient on this possession, letting the offense develop. In between the circles with Schmidt. Left-handed dribble towards the near side, now out to the right wing to Coleman. Coleman the head fake, drives into the lane, splits the gap between defenders. Layup a little too strong, no good. Ball at the fingertips of Hayden McLaughlin and picked up by Schiltz. Schiltz will find Stokes. A 24.6 point per game scorer last season. Drives in, splits two defenders, drew the foul, and the layup spins out of the cup. Nearly went down, but 2 free throws now coming for Haley Stokes. Stokes, a Minnesota State Mankato commit, as you heard in the pregame show, missed that season opening loss against Roland Story. That 10-point defeat for ELC, 44-34, but again, no Haley Stokes is really going to short circuit that offense as the free throw is good, and ELC has a 3-0 lead. Stokes last season, an 81% foul shooter, over 1,675 career points, now 1,677 for those 2 made free throws, and a 4-0 midget lead. Now here's the full court press, and it's full intensity. Hayden McLaughlin in the backcourt avoids the travel, kept that pivot foot, and got it off to Coleman. Coleman now across the Bulldog logo, heading towards our left. Coleman jump stops, kicks it out near side of Van Otterloo, absolutely blanketed. Van Otterloo's been a key focus of the ELC defense when these teams have matched up. They don't want her getting loose on threes. Nice up and under by Hayden McLaughlin from the left side, and the Bulldogs are on the board.
Yeah, it was a nice move. She was cut off going in the middle of the lane, and nice job coming back to the left side.
She tied as the Bulldogs' leading scorer against Forest City Tuesday night with 16 points. The 2 Haydens each had 16 to lead the way for Algona. 4-2 Estherville Lincoln Central. 3:48 on the clock right now. ELC the past 3 seasons, a record of 74-6 as a 3-point ball is released and drilled by Hillary Rushy. 7-2 ELC. Rushy that time deep from the left side, knocks it down. As ELC opens up the 3-point shooting, they were just under 30% on that last season. Across the foul line, it's Coleman, finds Hayden McLaughlin left side. The answer, a little bit too strong. That 3-point ball not dropping early for Algona, and the rebound picked up by Yeager. Now Stokes jogs it across half court. Stokes, 43 points in 2 games so far this season coming into tonight. Already ELC's leading scorer, even though she's only played 2 of their 3 games. Stokes on the right side, jump stopping, working against Van Otterloo, took a wide angle, banged it off the glass, no good. And once again, great defense on Stokes, this time by Casey Van Otterloo.
Yes, it was. Made that shot really difficult.
7-2 ELC. Now the Bulldogs have to get some offense going. Defense has done their job so far. 2:55 left in a fast-moving first quarter, a few stoppages. Right of the paint, it's Hayden McLaughlin. Almost got that ball stripped away by Rushy. Hands it off to Schmidt at the foul line. Schmidt left wing to Coleman. Coleman tries a 3, and it rattles in and out, no good. That 3 ball refuses to go down for Algona. Outlet pass for ELC onto the right block. Rushy, she'll bring it out beyond the 3-point line. Rushy to Smith, now back to Rushy in the right corner, guarded by McLaughlin. Handoff goes to Stokes as Schmidt is up in her face. Schmidt making eye contact of Stokes, locked in, gets the ball in between the circles now to Schiltz. ELC looking towards the basket on the right side of 12 on the shot clock. It's Rushy, takes 2 dribbles and hands it off to Stokes. Stokes elbow jumper from 15 feet, no good off the back of the cup. Rebound fought for, and Coleman wrestles it away from Schiltz. Nice crossover dribble by Coleman now. She works her way towards the front court. Flips it up ahead to Lauren McLaughlin of 2:07 left in the first quarter. 7-2 ELC in a defensive-oriented showdown. Between the circles to Casey Van Otterloo. In the left corner is Coleman, wide open 3-point try, and left it a little bit short. Long rebound though to the far side to Hayden McLaughlin. McLaughlin's pass, ill-advised, intercepted by Rushy. Trying to wrap it around along the baseline. Make that Yeager intercepted it. Now Yeager collects the pass underneath. Yeager works past McLaughlin, layup no good. Lauren McLaughlin redirected her towards the left side. 7-2 now, still ELC in the lead. Bulldogs ice cold in the first quarter shooting-wise so far against an ELC team that allowed 37.7 points per game last season, so they've been locked down defensively for years. Coleman in a double team, picked up a dribble, finds Schmidt in a ton of traffic in the paint, kicks it out back to Coleman on the left wing. Top of the key, McLaughlin rotates to Lauren McLaughlin from Hayden. 3-point ball wedges off to the right, and rebound is vacuumed in by Stokes. Wow. Stokes long outlet to Rushy. Rushy behind the defense. Rushy layup good. 9-2 ELC, and Coach Noel McLaughlin wants a timeout. 1:11 left in the first quarter. Timeout taken by Coach McLaughlin. It's a 60-second timeout, and we'll take it with him. 9-2 Estherville Lincoln Central on KLGZ, 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
Reichert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb, from a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
All defense so far. 1:11 left in the first quarter from Algona High School as Estherville Lincoln Central leads Algona 9-2. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Greg Stewart. Greg, as great programs usually do, both these teams are very defense-first oriented, and we've certainly seen that play out so far tonight.
Yeah, Coach Martindale talked pregame about how their shooting not really come along. That's not unusual early games like this. Neither team is shooting particularly well, but the Bulldogs just 1 out of 11 to start this ball game.
Algona doing a much better job of avoiding turnovers, but the shooting has not gone down as Lentz gets it in the front court to Schmidt. They break the press underneath to Dunning, but that pass a little bit out of the reach of Dunning and off her hands. Right now for the Bulldogs, it's Dunning, Lentz, Kuhlman, Lauren McLaughlin, and Paige Schmidt. ELC remains with their original starting 5 right now. 1 minute left in the first quarter, 9-2 Estherville Lincoln Central. Midgets have won 5 in a row against Algona, including a 54-38 win last season over the Bulldogs, but Algona's gotten a little closer each of these 5 times they played ELC as they knock the ball away from Rushy, stolen by Kuhlman. Up ahead to Dunning. Dunning pass to Schmidt, left block, Schmidt off the window, and Schmidt scores.
Very good. I'm glad to see Schmidt ready to set her feet and take that ball up. Good transition basket.
9-4 in favor of ELC. Last time these teams matched up, Haley Stokes had 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 steals. Stokes has been quiet scoring so far, but defensively, Estherville Lincoln Central has kept Algona at bay. 25 seconds left in the first, 18 on the shot clock. Deep on the left wing is Schultz for ELC. Schultz holding the ball, takes one dribble and gets it in between the circles to Yeager. Now back to Stokes from way downtown, left that three-pointer short, a major heat check. Smith tries to get the offensive rebound, but she threw it away to Lentz. Now Lentz in a double team, and the ball stolen away. Yeager intercepts the pass, runs the floor, wild layup, no. Stokes the follow, and Stokes nearly put that down. She got fouled, and she'll shoot 2 as the foul came with 3.3 seconds left in the first quarter. ELC will have 2 free throws coming once again from Haley Stokes. And that's where the Bulldogs, you can't panic in that situation. You get the long rebound, and ELC is so good at swarming defenders to whoever rebounded the ball. And that time, Lentz just panicked a little bit, Greg, and tried to pass out of the double team, got it tipped, and ELC stole it right before the end of the quarter.
Well, a good experience again, because that was one of the problems against Forest City, especially some of the younger players not used to seeing defenses like that.
2 good free throws from Stokes, 11-4 ELC. 3 seconds left in the first. Bulldogs are still far away from the basket. McLaughlin is not going to get that shot off before the end of the first quarter, as it'll end 11-4 in favor of Estherville Lincoln Central. Algona will look to get the offense going. ELC will continue to turn the defense up as we head to the second quarter on 98.5 FM, AM 1600, and at the AHS Broadcasting YouTube stream.
More Sports Club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you've got to go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Head to the second quarter, it's Estherville Lincoln Central 11 and Algona 4. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Greg Stewart, as defense has been the story of this game so far. Algona will start the second quarter with the basketball, heading from right to left on the radio dial. Well, you look at a lot of historical matches between teams to try to figure out what to expect tonight. Obviously, in the past, ELC has been able to force a lot of turnovers against the Bulldogs. Last season, one stat, Greg, in postgame, you go over a lot, is which team had more shot attempts, as ELC steals a pass right off the bat in the second quarter. Schultz runs the floor, Schultz layup up and good, 13-4. Last year when these two teams matched up, ELC had 62 shot attempts compared to just 35 for Algona. I was going to make the point Bulldogs are doing a better job taking care of the ball, but of course they come out here and turn it over to start the second quarter and undermine that point just a little bit.
6 turnovers right now for Algona here in the ball game so far.
And about 3 of them in the last 60 seconds of gameplay, and that was nearly number 4, almost thrown away, but Dunning picks up the loose ball, and Dunning traveled with the basketball, so there is turnover number 7. Bulldogs are pretty calm early in the game, but they're starting to get just a little bit sped up here late in the first quarter and now early in the second quarter. 13-4 Estherville Lincoln Central, and again, Coach McLaughlin in between the first quarter and second was probably telling his team, hey, we're all right, we played good defense, let's just knock down a few shots, but ELC has stifled the Bulldogs defensively. One thing Coach Martindale talked a lot about last year is if we hold teams under 40 points, we are going to win, and that mindset has continued into this season. Driving left of the paint is Yeager, kicks it out, three-point ball, Rushy from in front of the Bulldogs student section, off the cup, no good. Long rebound is wrestled away by Hayden McLaughlin. A physical board as she kept it away from Rushy.
That was a nice rebound by McLaughlin. She just beat her to the ball.
And you've got to be strong once you get there. Coleman, a 360 pivot, wild layup, no good. It was a nice move, but the shot missed just about everything. And going for the rebound that time was Yeager, but she stepped out as she was getting it. That's a break for the Bulldogs. There was nothing but black jerseys around that basketball. So Algona will keep it 1 minute gone here in the second quarter. Estherville Lincoln Central up 13-4. Hayden McLaughlin inbound, looking and getting it in right side to Casey Van Otterloo. Now to the left to Coleman. Coleman directs traffic with the right hand, dribbles with the left, guarded by Schiltz. Dunning sets the screen. ELC does a nice job defending it. Now Coleman's in a double team, gets it away to Dunning between the circles. Ball was nearly swiped by Stokes. Dunning keeps it safe and finds Coleman. Coleman works her way to the foul line, 6 on the shot clock. Coleman back outside to Dunning with 3. Dunning driving in, lost the basketball, and here comes Rushy the other direction. Rushy to Stokes. Stokes left-handed layup up and in. 15-4 Estherville Lincoln Central. And this is danger time now for Algona. This is when things can really get away here if you let ELC rip off 7 or 8 more in a row. And again, it sounds simple, but eventually you just need some of these shots to go down, and you've got to take care of the ball if you're the Bulldogs. Nice back cut by Casey Van Otterloo. Ball is knocked out of bounds by Smith. Smith did a nice job of covering up that cut, and the Bulldogs keep it of 6-13. Lentz back in as well as Schmidt. Coleman and Dunning go to the bench for Algona. Here on the Bulldog home hardwood, where they went 11-0 last season, but dropped that season-opening 64-54 game against Forest City Tuesday night before Thanksgiving.
Watch out. Yep, lost it.
5-second call. Schmidt was looking for someone to get open, but held that ball just a beat too long, and another turnover for Algona.
Well, that is number 9 here, so turnovers really mounting for the Bulldogs, and something you can't do against a really good team like ELC.
Last year when these two teams matched up, Algona had 22 turnovers, ELC just 7. Early trend is similar so far tonight, but there's one for ELC. They tried to pass it down to Schiltz on the left side baseline, but it was off her hands and out of bounds. Now McLaughlin eyeing up the full court press, gets it into Van Otterloo. ELC will back off as Van Otterloo brings it across the timeline. The Bulldogs senior passes left side to Schmidt. 5:56 and running here in the second quarter. 15-4 Estherville Lincoln Central. 2 of the top 6 ranked teams in the preseason poll matching up tonight. And Coach McLaughlin wants another timeout for Algona. Things just not getting moving offensively for the Bulldogs, and Coach McLaughlin wants to talk it over with 5:49 left in the second quarter. It'll be a 30-second timeout as we'll keep it right here. Well, Greg, offensively, I think not turning the ball over in the second quarter, that's a key number 1, but when the Bulldogs do keep the ball, I mean, we saw them get the ball inside early in the first quarter, but missed a few layups. ELC's done a nice job of contesting underneath the bucket so far tonight. How did the Bulldogs get things going and start getting a few of these buckets to drop?
Yeah, I think maybe just a little bit tight right now. The Bulldogs are, and just need to relax, take a deep breath a little bit, and yeah, seeing a shot or 2 go down. Be nice if they get the ball inside and draw a foul, because lots of times you have trouble getting the shot to go down. You get to the line, that helps a little bit, but no free throw attempts yet for Algona, and they're 0 for 6 from outside the arc.
Casey Van Otterloo, left corner 3 out of the timeout, air ball that Bulldogs now 0 for 7 on 3-point balls as Stokes grabs the long rebound. The one area where Algona does have an advantage, certainly more height than Estherville Lincoln Central, and you would think if you can get the ball inside, you can take advantage of that and maybe get some offensive rebounds if you miss your shots as Yeager drives in right side. Yeager spins up the layup, no, off the hands of Smith, and picked up by Schmidt for Algona. Schmidt heading towards the left across the timeline, right down beneath us. On the left wing, picks up a dribble. Top of the key, Van Otterloo trying to get on track, and airballs the 3-pointer out of bounds and back to ELC.
Boy, that's, Casey's kind of, she's coming out of the ball game now, but kind of dropped her head there. 2 air balls in a row, and she's a really good shooter.
Taylor Van Otterloo checks into the game for Algona. And to your point, Greg, Casey Van Otterloo, a second-team All-NCC selection last year, shot 31% on free balls. And we saw this a little last year, too. She started off slowly before winter break, but really came alive in the second half as Rushy drives in, powers up the layup, and scores 17-4 Estherville Lincoln Central.
Just got a half step on that drive on the lane down the right side, and all the way.
5 minutes left in the second quarter, and this has been a blackout as far as the defensive performance is concerned by Estherville Lincoln Central, locking down the Bulldog offense up to this point. McLaughlin picks up her dribble, pivots around as Rushy's right in her face. Someone's got to come help out Hayden McLaughlin, and double dribble. She pivoted about 4 times and then started that dribble again.
Yeah, you don't want to pick up your dribble there unless you absolutely have to, and Hayden McLaughlin was stuck that time when she picked it up.
Algona's going to go pretty much full line change here. 4 substitutions coming off the bench. We will see Gabby Van Tiger, Emma Spear, Bella Jo Dunning, and Taylor Van Otterloo all in the game alongside Hayden Kuhlman right now. A totally different looking lineup for Algona as they try to find some answers early in this game. ELC is just a roll with their normal starting 5, and they right now enjoy a 13-point lead. Rushy make that Stokes 3-point ball in and out, no good. That one nearly went down. Ball's loose on the floor, and it rolls right to the hands of Stokes. Stokes picked up a dribble though, whips the pass inside off the hands of Jaeger. No, off the hands of the Bulldogs and out of bounds. It's going to be kept by ELC. Schultz will inbound from the near side baseline. 4:20 left in the second quarter as Schultz looks. Schultz finds Stokes in the right side corner, guarded by Gabby Van Tiger. That is a big, big assignment right there. Stokes took one dribble, picked it up, whips the pass in the corner to Schultz. Catch and fire 3, and she airballed it right into the lap of Smith on the offensive board, though, and gets it back outside to Stokes. That ball did not touch rim. Shot clock didn't reset. Out to Rushy. Rushy 3-point try. Rushy left it short. Rebounded by Van Tiger. Almost traveled there. She picked up her dribble and found Kuhlman. Bulldogs are fortunate ELC's been cold on 3-point tries. Otherwise, this could be much more than 17-4. Kuhlman on the right side. Kuhlman works down the lane, shoots a tough left-handed shot, moving away from the basket and missed it left.
Yep. Really tough shot that time.
Momentum not taking her towards the bucket as a long pass from half court by Stokes goes out of bounds and it's turned over. And even enjoying a 17-4 lead, Coach Martindale on the ELC sideline is not happy with that decision to pass it in from half court all the way under the bucket.
No, that was a little bit out of control.
9 points so far by Rushy for ELC leading the way. Spear on the left wing for Algona, comes in between the circles to Van Tiger. Van Tiger crosses over, drives, kicks it into the corner to Dunning. Takes one dribble and picks it up, gets it out to Kuhlman of 20 on the shot clock. Dunning sets a screen. Kuhlman drives right past the foul line, took another wide angle, banged it off the glass, no, knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with Algona. Once again, though, ELC is forcing incredibly difficult shots by Hayden Kuhlman in this second quarter.
Yeah, really forced her wide there, and Kuhlman, you know, bless her heart, is working as hard as she can to try to get something going, but she's taking some really tough shots.
Lauren McLaughlin back into the game for Algona with 3:15 left in the second quarter. That last shot by Kuhlman never got rimmed, so we're down to 8 on the shot clock as it did not reset. Pass to Spear, almost poked away by Smith. 4 on the shot clock, back to Kuhlman. She's got to bail it out here. 1 on the shot clock, and Bulldogs are out of time. Got the pass off to McLaughlin, but she did not know how much time was left. And another turnover by the Bulldogs, this time on the 35-second clock. ELC, 3 minutes left in the first half, 17-4 lead. Not a great first half for the Midgets either as far as offense is concerned, but you forget all about that foul while they're playing defensively. Jaeger picks up a dribble between the circles. Lauren McLaughlin with a knockaway, but the ball got poked over to Smith, kept by ELC. Rolling with those same 5 starters as Jaeger kicks it out to Schultz, rotates it around to Stokes on the perimeter. The Minnesota State Mankato commits, steps back for a 3-point try, missed it off to the right. Ball deflects out of bounds, and it's back to the Bulldogs. But ELC, as we said, went to the state title game last year. On their path to the state title, they defeated Forest City in the state quarterfinal round, then knocked off Mount Vernon 45-37 in the semis last season. The same Mount Vernon team that is ranked number 2 in the state right now and beat ELC last week 52-42. Now 2:25 left in the first half. It's Kuhlman driving in. Kuhlman got inside that time, but a recovery and a block by Stokes.
I was going to say, she got the half step that time and was going to get the angle, but nice recovery by Stokes to slap the ball out of bounds.
Stokes just swallowed up that shot. Bulldogs get to keep it, but Stokes will take that block and avoid the 2 by Kuhlman. And pass is knocked out of bounds by Schultz. Van Tiger is trying to find Kuhlman working in the corner, and the Bulldogs keep it of 2:20 on the clock. Good
example again of the quickness and aggressiveness defensively by the Midgets.
Yeah,
they're challenging that inbounds pass.
McLaughlin, 15-footer, in and out, no good.
Boy.
Lid on the bucket right now for Algona. But there are hands and arms and bodies just flying everywhere for ELC defensively, and they're doing a tremendous job defending without fouling and still putting a ton of pressure on Algona. And a lot of that pressure's in the half-court defense, too. Bulldogs have got it across the timeline, but can't get anything going in the half-court.
Well, some of the pressure on Algona right now, I think, is mental because they've got some good shots, like that last one, just didn't go down.
Here's a drive by Jaeger, missed on the layup. Ball deflects and it's picked up by Kuhlman as she takes the rebound with 1:49 left in the first half. Kuhlman across the timeline. Kuhlman picks up her dribble and comes in between the circles to Lauren McLaughlin. 17-4 Estherville Lincoln Central. Both teams on a major scoring drought right now, so you've been stuck at 17-4. Dunning bumping of Rushy, forced her to pick up her dribble, finds the curling Van Tiger. Out to the top of the key to Kuhlman. Kuhlman back inside to Dunning, got deep in the post. Nice pivot by Dunning, but hit the layup off the side of the rim. Rebound ELC.
A little bit too deep there, right idea. She split the defenders, but had no room to put it up.
Stokes across half court, averaged 6.6 assists per game last season to go along with that 24-plus point per game scoring. Now it's Yeager in the left side corner. 1:11 left in the quarter. Dunning knocks away the entry pass. Coleman trying to collect it, and she tiptoes the sideline and stays in bounds. Finds Dunning in transition. Dunning too strong on the layup. The follow by Van Tiger, and she puts it in. First points of the second quarter for Algona, and it comes with 55 seconds left in the quarter.
Really incredible when you think about it, and still they're down only 11 points, so this game hasn't gotten away from them despite really bad offensive woes here.
Stokes contested three-point ball blanketed by Van Tiger, and the shot's no good. Haley Stokes has been held to 6 points, yet the Bulldogs still trail by 11. They would have signed up for that point total for Stokes if you'd said that going into the game. Now 30 seconds left in the half. Entry pass to Dunning, knocked away by Rushy with great hands, and finds Stokes. Here comes Stokes in transition. This is where she's dangerous. Layup misses though. She was forced into a tough shot. Offensive rebound by ELC, but thrown away by Stokes with 21 seconds left in the half.
Now can finish with a basket here, get it single digits. That would be a victory, I think.
13 seconds left in the half. Can the Bulldogs get one more bucket here before the break? 17-6, Estherville Lincoln Central. Double screen, top of the key. Laura McLaughlin now looking for her first points. McLaughlin hooks the shot up from 15 feet, missed everything. Dunning trying to save it. She bats it back in, and that is the end of the first half. A full court heave is no good by ELC, and that one might have been after the break anyways. So that'll bring an end to the first half. A defensive-oriented first half. 17-6 is the Estherville Lincoln Central lead as we hit the break. We'll step aside for a timeout, get to your halftime coverage, including first half stats after this on Home Country Radio, 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying Steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bankin at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you.
At 10:24. Let's go. The place is on fire.
will take that all day long as they've taken away three of the Bulldog biggest scoring threats. First half, Bulldogs got 2 points from Paige Schmidt, 2 from Hayden McLaughlin, and 2 from Gabby Van Tiger, and that was it up to this point. For Estherville Lincoln Central, 9 points by Hillary Rushy, 6 by Haley Stokes, and 2 by Kara Schultz. That's a scoring for ELC. Scoring by quarter, 11-4 in favor of ELC in the first, and then 6-2 midgets in the second quarter, as that's a look at those first half numbers as far as the quarter scoring and individual scoring is concerned. But Greg, we are watching a master class right now as far as defense is concerned. It's been a really good defensive first half for Algona. It's been an elite defensive first half for Estherville Lincoln Central.
Well, it has, and we talked about physical play and aggressive play, and it really hasn't been that as much as it has been just good fundamental defensive positioning by both teams. Neither team has really given up very many good looks. I think Coach Martindale talked in the pregame about wanting to make everything uncomfortable, and I would say the Algona Bulldogs have taken a number of uncomfortable shots tonight that they were forced into by good position defense by ELC. And when I talk about good position, the result is no free throw attempts for Algona in that first half, despite outstanding defensive effort. When you can play really good defense, throw the offense out of rhythm, make them take uncomfortable shots, and not foul, that's a perfect recipe for success. The Bulldogs have not done a bad job of that themselves. ELC really struggling on the offensive end as well, and most of it has been due to good position defense by the Bulldogs. But neither team able to get even some open looks to go down, especially Algona. As I look at the halftime shooting stats here, ELC has made just 6 out of 25 from the floor, just 24% shooting, which is really pretty low. But cut that in half just about. Algona has made just 3 out of 22 shots in the first half, 14% shooting for the first half of this ball game. I don't know if I remember a game where Algona has shot that low a percentage. And give credit to ELC defense, yes. But by the same token, there are a number of good open looks the Bulldogs had. Just will not go down tonight. Right now they're 0 for 8 from outside the arc. And I wouldn't say any of those were forced three-pointers or rushed three-pointers. They were good looks and just not go down. We saw a couple of air balls in there. And ELC, again, not much better, has made just 1 out of 9 from outside the arc. So neither team shooting the ball very well. ELC, their star Stokes, did get to the line twice and made all 4 free throws. So the midgets had the advantage there with the 4 free throws, but it's been a struggle offensively for both teams. And like you said, we give credit to both defenses for doing a nice job, but both offenses also really struggling to get into a rhythm here tonight. And part of that comes back to defense. It starts to get mental at one point in a ball game where you can't believe that didn't go down. That one didn't go down. Oh, is this one going to go down? And the danger is you start, as a player start hesitating, start trying to guide the ball to make sure it goes in. Now it's not a natural shot anymore. It's got to be taken, I believe, in rhythm where you're not thinking about it. Just, I've got the shot. I'm going to make it. Just take it. And I'm not sure either team is there right now.
You hit the nail on the head, Greg, and this is why you need the full picture of the game. If I told you that Algona would hold ELC to 17 points in the first half, Haley Stokes would only have 6 points, ELC would be shooting 24% from the field, you'd say, wow, Algona's really dominating the game up to this point. But what ELC's been able to do to Algona defensively, plus I really think the Bulldogs, in some of the ways you described, Greg, are playing very tight right now. There's a lot of pressure on the Bulldogs, and part of it is you bring back 5 starters from a team that went to the regional final last year. If you have to prove, hey, we're supposed to go to state this year now. 5 starters back from a 19-win team in Class 3A. We feel like we're supposed to go to state. We've got to prove this by beating Forest City or prove it by beating Estherville Lincoln Central. And yes, you want to win these games. You want to show the state that you're one of the best teams, that you're on the level of a Forest City or an ELC, but you can't just force that to happen. You've got to play your natural game of basketball. And like you described there, Greg, of some of the shooting, Bulldogs are just looking very, very tense up to this point, not playing the relaxed brand of basketball we saw during tremendous stretches last season. And, again, defensively, a lot of good things to like for Algona. Offensively, I think they just got to loosen up here a little bit. Again, They started 0-2 last year, had a great season. You can still avoid an 0-2 start. It may feel like you're down by 30 right now because of the way the offense is played. You're not down by 30.
No.
You're down by 11. So even though it's a tough challenge, there's still plenty of time to get back into this game.
Well, there really is. I mean, 11 points, you're talking about 4 possessions. And so making up the difference might not be all that hard, but certainly you've got to relax. You've got to get in some sort of a rhythm offensively and get some shots to fall.
Well, we get ready to start the second half. Again, 17-6. The score right now is Estherville Lincoln Central leads Algona here on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream. Both teams just really trying to get off the schneid as the Bulldogs lost that opening game 64-54 against Forest City in a game that had much different feel than tonight's game. ELC 1-2 so far this season. As we mentioned, a loss to Roland Story and a loss to Mount Vernon, but a win over Western Christian. So both teams in need of a proving ground type of win tonight, and right now ELC halfway to getting that. Like we said in the first half, no Bulldog more than 2 points. Schmidt, Van Tiger, and Hayden McLaughlin, 2 apiece for Algona. Right now leading the way for ELC is Hillary Rushy with 9. Both teams return their starting lineup, their starting 5 back to the court, and we'll get ready to go here in the third quarter. ELC will start with the basketball as they will head from right to left on the radio dial wearing the black uniforms. Second half is underway. Stokes receives the basketball from Schultz, and we are rolling here from the Algona High School Gymnasium. Schultz deep on the left wing right now. Coleman shadowing her, goes underneath the screen. A nice poke away by Coleman, but also a foul. A foul there, and that'll be the first of the half on Algona, as Coleman will pick that one up. 10 seconds in here, second personal on Hayden Coleman.
Nobody else in the game with 2 fouls, so foul trouble shouldn't be a problem tonight.
Yeah, Bulldogs did get in a little foul trouble late against Forest City as Coleman picked up that 4th foul, had to sit for a couple minutes in the 4th, and then had to play a lot of that 4th quarter with 4 personal fouls. Rushy of the basketball right now takes 2 hard dribbles, gives to Schultz. Schultz right down Main Street, and she scores the layup. Schultz got loose that time, and there was nobody between her and the basket within about 10 feet, and it's 19-6 Estherville Lincoln Central. Schultz now with 4 points. Lauren McLaughlin was held scoreless in the first half, had her pocket picked. Got a little sloppy on the dribble that time, and a jump ball is forced. She was able to force a tie-up with Riley Yeager, and the possession arrow is towards Algona. ELC has not necessarily been super aggressive in their half-court, or in their full-court defense so far, I should say, and part of that is not a lot of made buckets for ELC so far, and those made buckets really allow you to get set defensively and force that full-court press, but they have made up for it by being relentless in the half-court defense. Coleman splits 2 defenders, had the ball poked away, she got it back. Wild and out of control on the layup, no good, and the rebound by Yeager. Coleman came in at about 100 miles per hour that time, had to regain her balance after nearly having the ball stripped. And 1 minute gone here in the third quarter, 19-6 to Estherville Lincoln Central advantage. Bulldogs scored just 2 points in the second quarter, still looking for their first bucket here in the third. Schultz heads right around the perimeter, hands it off to Yeager. Yeager, the number 2 leading scorer on the season and last season as well, behind Stokes. Now it's Rushy. Gives to Stokes on the right side of 10 on the shot clock, guarded by Schmidt. Stokes will back it out between the circles. Bounce pass to Rushy on the elbow. Now back to Stokes, trying to shake loose from Schmidt. Schmidt staying with her. Help defense by Hayden McLaughlin. Tough 2-point jumper is no good as it banks off the glass and the rim. Now Schmidt comes the other way. 1.5 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Around the perimeter, Coleman. Coleman head fakes, lost the basketball, tried to pick it back up, and Schultz forces a tie up there of 6:20 on the clock. So tie up forced here as Algona will keep the basketball. 19-6 right now is the ELC lead. ELC up 19-6. 6:15 and ticking on the clock right now. As dribbling up top is Yeager. Yeager comes onto the left side to Schultz. Schultz passing into the corner to Stokes. Releases on the 3-point try, and Stokes drains it. Bottom of the net for Haley Stokes. 22-6 ELC, and the first 5 points of the quarter go to the Midgets.
Boy, careless pass there. You got to be a little bit sharper. The Bulldogs hang on to the ball, but
Lauren McLaughlin up ahead to Hayden McLaughlin. 22-6 ELC as McLaughlin hands it up to Coleman. Coleman takes 2 dribbles, backs it up. Flings it over to Schmidt on the left side. Schmidt back to the bucket. Stokes pokes the ball away, and it's stolen. Schultz got the ball off the poke away by Stokes. Now Stokes outlets up the court. Finds Yeager under the bucket. Tough layup, and Yeager scored it. Had a full head of steam, and Coach Noel McLaughlin calls a timeout. So timeout by Coach McLaughlin. We'll take the timeout as well on KLGZ 98.5 FM, AM 1600.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
As we come back, third quarter from Algona High School, 5:31 on the clock, and number 1 ranked Estherville Lincoln Central pulling away from Algona 24-6. Right now the advantage for ELC. Bulldogs nearly avoided another turnover. They get it up ahead to Schmidt. Schmidt passing top of the key to Hayden McLaughlin. McLaughlin working the dribble with the right hand, trying to work her way in. Double team, trying to create some space with that offhand. It gets it out top to Kuhlman. Quick pass underneath to Schmidt. Lost the defender and scored.
Boy, that was a nice assist there by Kuhlman. Nice job by Schmidt being ready to put it off the glass.
4 points by the senior Paige Schmidt.
Yeah, leading scorer right now for the Bulldogs. How about that?
Has half the Bulldog 8 points. 5 minutes left in the third quarter, 24-8 ELC. As they look underneath for Stokes. Now around the perimeter it goes. They'll find Yeager. Yeager driving in, bounce pass to Smith. Smith pump fake. Smith puts it up, and Smith puts it in with the answer.
Now ELC has made 4 out of their first 5 shots here in the second half. Quite a turnaround from what we saw in the first half.
And that's part of it, too. You're down 11 at halftime for the Bulldogs, but you know that ELC is not going to stay as cold as they are forever, and you hope ELC is thinking the same thing about you. Bulldogs are not going to stay as cold as they were in the first half of the entire game, but Bulldogs still have to prove it here and get a few shots to drop. Hayden McLaughlin on the left wing. Dribbles to the foul line, pass behind Van Otterloo, who is cutting to the bucket, and out of bounds. So turnover by the Bulldogs. 4:23 on the clock and a 26-8 ELC advantage. ELC over the past 3 seasons, they've won at least 24 games every year. They've had a combined record of 74-6. They do not lose often, and the Bulldogs find themselves behind here by quite a bit in the third quarter as Rushy has it beyond the left perimeter. ELC has not made a substitution yet today. They've had their 5 starters play the whole time. Top of the key three-pointer, off to the left by Yeager. Another offensive board by Smith, almost threw it away as Kuhlman batted it, but went back to the hands of Yeager for the Midgets. Stokes up top. Stokes crossover dribble, drives down the lane, rises for the jumper and puts it in. She thought she had a little contact too. She won't get the foul, but she'll get a sweet 2.
Well, I think she did have a little contact. Good job by Stokes fighting through the contact.
Coach McLaughlin, the pregame, Coach Stokes, the best player in Class 3A. Hard to argue with that. Dunning for the Bulldogs, powers it up and powers it in between the double team.
That's one thing that Dunning brought last year. You know, really tough under the basket. Again, going up through a lot of pressure there.
Incredibly hard-nosed player is Dunning as Stokes drives in and draws the foul. Coach Martindale on the ELC sideline was saying that was an act of shooting. We will see if the officials agree, but it appears they do not. So ELC will have to inbound from the baseline. Bulldogs bring in Taylor Van Otterloo, Maya Lentz, and Hayden McLaughlin. Schmidt, Lauren McLaughlin, and Casey Van Otterloo go to the bench. Bulldogs have kept Stokes off the foul line for the most part, but she draws a foul right on cue. Taylor Van Otterloo bit on that one and bumped into her. Stokes will shoot 2.
Now Taylor was on the opposite side of the lane, and just before the inbound, tried to shift over to guard her and hurried over there, continued on and gave a little bit of a bump.
First free throw for Stokes is up and good. Stokes is just about automatic at the foul line as she puts the first one in.
5 from 5 tonight.
Stokes scored 664 points last season. Number 1 in all classes, not just 3A, as she gets 13 tonight with that point. Both free throws good. 30-10 now as the Estherville Lincoln Central lead as Dunning picks up her dribble in the backcourt. Dunning flips it ahead to Kuhlman and gets across half court in time. Kuhlman at the elbow, jumper no good. Flying in for the rebound is Rushy. Rushy's had a nice rebounding night for ELC. Averaged 9 points and 4 boards last year. Stokes drives in. Stokes starting to feel it. Missed a tough shot though. Got her own miss. Kicks it out. Rushy, top of the key. Catch and shoot. Left the three-pointer short. Long deflection, and Dunning will wisely let it go out of bounds and back to Algona. Now down to 3 minutes left in this third quarter, as Coach Martindale will call a timeout for the first time tonight. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it right here as Estherville Lincoln Central has extended the lead to 20 points over Algona. And we're starting to see why ELC has been so good over the past couple of years. Some games, it's just ELC comes out, they bludgeon you, they score a ton of points offensively, and you can't avoid turnovers, but they have the ability to win ugly. They don't have to do it often, and maybe you can give the credit to the Bulldogs kind of dragging them into an ugly game, but we're seeing it here tonight. They're finding a way to get just enough points, and the stops have continued all night defensively. This is a team that clearly knows how to win any style of game, whether it's high scoring or low scoring.
Yeah, those stops are really the critical part, because as we talked, defense is something that travels, as they say. You can play good defense any night. Sometimes, like tonight for Algona, the shots just don't go down, but ELC used that defense to build up a lead. Now they're starting to make shots too.
Lauren McLaughlin handling the basketball right now. When these teams matched up last year, McLaughlin had 17 points. Nobody else had more than 6. Tonight, though, Lauren McLaughlin's been held off the scoreboard, and very few shot attempts as ELC has dedicated a lot of resources to her. McLaughlin posting up. Shot is blocked. It's blocked by Stokes, who came in on the help defense as McLaughlin looked to get by Yeager. Pass up the court, knocked out of bounds by Lentz, and it's going to stay on the left side of the court. Boy, Bulldogs thought they had a window of opportunity there. McLaughlin physically posting up against the 5'11" Riley Yeager, got the ball, but Stokes saw that coming from behind and has her second block of the night.
Really well-timed effort by Stokes.
Stokes now inbounding from the corner. You have to watch where she goes after she inbounds too. Picked up by Van Otterloo as ELC gets it around the perimeter. Top of the key to Rushy. Nothing there as Rushy gives it off to Yeager, who finds Stokes. Stokes pulls for a contested 3. In and out, no good. A fight for the rebound and a foul on the rebound as well, going against Estherville Lincoln Central as we have a bouncy ball coming out of the crowd here onto the court. Coach McLaughlin had to come on there and pick it up. Bulldogs, when they do their player introductions, throw those, I don't know if they're super balls or what those are, beach balls into the crowd, and one of those came out onto the court here, stopping us briefly, but as we resume here, Van Otterloo had her pocket picked. Stokes took it right away. Stokes to the bucket, and the layup is good. Took it out of Taylor Van Otterloo's pocket that time. 15 points by Stokes, and now the ball's thrown away on the inbounds, but ELC throws it right back to Algona. Sloppy sequence there as McLaughlin bulls it up the court to Lentz across the way. Finds Dunning underneath, Dunning beneath the basket, readjusts, and Dunning gets the layup. 4 points by Bella Jo Dunning in this third quarter. 32-12 now is the Estherville Lincoln Central advantage. Stokes across half court. Shadowed by Taylor Van Otterloo. Flings it over left side to Schiltz. Gives it off to Yeager. 1:48 left in the quarter. Yeager up to the top to Rushy. Rushy shadowed by Hayden McLaughlin. Takes 2 dribbles towards her right and gives it off to Stokes. Bulldogs have had a couple different defenders on Stokes tonight. A lot of Paige Schmidt, but a little bit of Gabby Van Tiger and a little Taylor Van Otterloo as well. Stokes working against Van Otterloo now. Works around 2 defenders. Shovels to Smith underneath. Hesitated, had an open shot. Gets it back outside instead. Stokes 3 at the horn. Missed it left. Rebound again by Smith. Smith finds the cutting Yeager, and she puts it up and in. Smith has been underrated on the boards tonight. Several offensive rebounds for ELC as Van Otterloo throws it away in the backcourt. The knock away by Yeager finds Stokes. Stokes wild layup, almost went down. Offensive board for Schiltz. Passing to the lane by Stokes, batted around, knocked out by the Bulldogs. And ELC will keep it at 1:05 on the clock. Bulldogs will substitute in with Gabby Van Tiger, Paige Schmidt, and Hayden Kuhlman, as well as Casey Van Otterloo. Taylor Van Otterloo, Maya Lentz, Hayden McLaughlin, and Bella Jo Dunning go to the bench. 1:05 left in the quarter. Schiltz from the baseline for ELC. Goes into the corner to Rushy. Now around to Stokes. Now up to 15 points. Stokes with 9 of those 15 in the third quarter. She'll be patient here against Smith. Against Schmidt, that is. Accelerates and then stops. Flips it left side to Yeager. Yeager 4 points today for ELC. 34-12 the midget advantage right now as Yeager dribbles in between the circles. Picks it up. 10 on the shot clock now. Bounce pass to Schiltz. Schiltz, a nice find of Rushy. Rushy left-handed layup, spins out of the cup as the rim spit it out. Offensive rebound for ELC, and they'll bring it back out with Yeager. Yeager across the foul line, tries to drive again. Yeager powers the layup in. 36-12, Estherville Lincoln Central. And late in the third quarter, the Bulldogs have been hurt here on the offensive glass.
Yeah, giving up 5 offensive boards this quarter. 11 for the game now.
20 seconds left in the third quarter, and Schiltz able to poke the ball away from Kuhlman into the backcourt. Kuhlman picks it back up. It finds Van Tiger, and she went over and back. She touched it on the Bulldog half of the court, but as she was getting it, her momentum just took her over half court, and that'll be an easy call for the official.
Well, Bulldogs just really completely out of the game tonight, and the struggles continue to show.
Shot clock is off. 7 on the game clock for ELC. Schultz tried to throw a pass into a ton of traffic to Yeager. She batted it to Smith. Kicks it out to Schultz. Tries the 3. And she knocks it down at the end of the quarter. Kara Schultz hits the 3-point ball. And Estherville Lincoln Central running away from Algona. 39-12 ELC as we head to the 4th. We take this timeout right now on Home Country Radio, 98.5 FM and AM at 1600.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water connection from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Gray Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio. When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Start of the 4th quarter on Home Country Radio. It's Estherville Lincoln Central 39, Algona 12. A stifling defensive effort by the Midgets. ELC outscored Algona 22-6 in that 3rd quarter as the Midgets have finally started to get that offense on track. Coolman tries a 3, that's no good. Bulldogs are 0 for the game on 3-pointers so far. Not a good look for the Bulldogs, but that shot just not going down tonight. 20 seconds gone on the 4th quarter. The basket is towards our left as Estherville Lincoln Central controls the rock. Schultz up top, guarded by Coolman. Curling around as Yeager collects the pass at the perimeter of the lane, works her way into the paint, pivots left against McLaughlin. Nice moves underneath, and Yeager scores it. 41-12 ELC. Yeager now with 8 points, starting to get in on action a little more as well. Yeager had 10 points and 9 boards last time these two teams matched up. May end up with a similar stat line tonight. Coolman bursts into the front court as Estherville Lincoln Central has the 41-12 advantage. Finds Lauren McLaughlin back to the bucket. McLaughlin had the ball knocked away. It's stolen by Schultz. She'll run the floor, working against Coolman, and Coolman recovered, and Coolman fouled Schultz to avoid the easy 2. That was a hard foul, and Schultz is going to head to the line here. 1 minute gone in the 4th quarter. 7 points tonight by Schultz at that big 3-pointer right before the end of the 3rd quarter to really provide the exclamation point for ELC, as that is the 3rd personal foul against Coolman. First free throw on the way for Schultz, and that one goes down the drain. 42-12 Estherville Lincoln Central, up now by 30 as Hayden McLaughlin comes into the ball game. Schultz, part of the 5 senior starting line for ELC, knocks down the 2nd free throw, and it's 43-12. The senior class has gone to Wells Fargo Arena each of their first 3 seasons. Won the state title back in 2022, lost in a quarterfinal round upset 1 versus 8 in 2023, and then made the state title but lost against Solon last season, the 2024 basketball year. As Schmidt pivots around along the perimeter, looking for someone, finding Coolman near side of the court. Now pass behind Hayden McLaughlin, it goes out of bounds, and it's back to ELC.
Well, I just really struggling tonight. That time just cutting in and pass from behind out of bounds. Turnovers for Algona now up to 21 on the night.
And that's after an 18-turnover game against Forest City on Tuesday night. This has been a trial by fire in the first 2 games as Rushy gets deep in the post and scores over Hayden McLaughlin. 45-12 Estherville Lincoln Central. And we knew it would be. We knew this was going to be a tough first 2 games. It was last year. Algona dropped the first 2 games last season as well. And again, you would have liked to have seen more from the offense tonight, but this is about the 2 toughest teams on the schedule. Maybe you throw Bishop Garrigan in there as well coming later in December. And, you know, Humboldt may have something to say about that once you get into the NCC schedule. But at least 2 of your 4 toughest games, game number 1 and 2 here in the regular season, as McLaughlin lifts up a 3-point ball. No good for Lauren. Ball is batted and it's picked up on the rebound by Yeager. 5:50 left in the 4th quarter. 45-12 is the ELC advantage. Stokes on the left side of 15 points tonight as she's guarded by Schmidt. Had a 30-point game last time these teams matched up as the pass to the cutting Yeager out of her reach and out of bounds for a turnover. Well, ELC continuing on with this non-conference slate of games. They will host Sioux Central tomorrow night. Defending champions of the Lakes Conference. They've won the Lakes the past few seasons as Van Otterloo Has the ball right now, 5:30 on the clock. Top of the key is Schmidt. Finds McLaughlin on the right block, takes a power dribble, layup no good. Hayden with the follow. Hayden McLaughlin puts it up and in, and she drew the foul.
Really can see the frustration on Lauren McLaughlin's face. When she got the ball inside, really pounded down that dribble. She's going to go up strong and just put it over the top, but Sister Hayden on the far side collected in and put it back.
Hayden McLaughlin finishes off the three-point play, and we've seen Lauren McLaughlin play very physically towards the end of the third quarter, had a big, strong post-up against Yeager, and then, like you said, that very strong dribble as well. ELC will check Haley Stokes out of the game as well as Julissa Smith. So first substitutions of the night for Estherville Lincoln Central. Zoe DeRuyter, the 5'8 junior, checks into the ball game right now. Also in Morgan Claybaugh, the 5'6 junior, as the 5 starters have gotten ELC a 45-15 advantage. But the thing for ELC defensively, really no jump shots for Lauren McLaughlin available tonight. McLaughlin's jumper has improved so much over her career, and ELC clearly wanting to avoid that tonight as a shot is rejected by the Bulldogs. Yeager tried to drive, and the Bulldogs stuffed it out of bounds.
Lauren McLaughlin, that length that Coach Farndale talked about, using it there, nice long reach, knocked it out of bounds.
McLaughlin checking in at 6'2". Nobody on ELC taller than 5'11", but they did a nice job of not letting the Bulldog length bother them in any way tonight. Rushy drives past McLaughlin, missed on the layup though, a little bit too strong. Casey Van Otterloo tracks down the rebound. Nearly had it poked away from behind by the pursuing Schiltz. Ball goes left side to Kuhlman, and make that to Hayden McLaughlin. McLaughlin tried to pass to Kuhlman, but got knocked away again by the midgets. 2-on-2, Yeager runs the floor, she'll take it herself. Drove right by Kuhlman and scored it.
Yeah, that was a nice acceleration by Yeager there. At the last 15 feet, she really hit a burst.
10 points now by Riley Yeager. 4:42 left in the fourth quarter as a full timeout is called by Estherville Lincoln Central, and head coach Don Martindale will take the full timeout with him. Back after this, 47-15 ELC on KLGZ Home Country Radio.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bankin at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station. Service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction. Let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game.
As we come back, Estherville Lincoln Central in control against Algona, 47-15 with 4:32 left in the fourth quarter. Schiltz knocked the ball away from Kuhlman out of bounds, but the Bulldogs will keep it here as it was last touched by Estherville Lincoln Central. Taylor Van Otterloo to inbound here for Algona. Gets it into Kuhlman with 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and once again, Schiltz able to dislodge the ball from Kuhlman, but that time, Schiltz committed the foul. Something that ELC has avoided tonight. They do a nice job being very active on defense with the hands without committing fouls. As Kuhlman comes back across half court, finds Lentz, eyes the bucket, now to Van Otterloo in the right side corner. Out to Lauren McLaughlin, of 4:18 and ticking left on the clock. McLaughlin looking, flinging it over to Dunning on the left wing. Dunning driving in, Dunning tries to power away inside, and she was fouled on the play. Some shoulder-to-shoulder contact there as Dunning will shoot 2 of 4:10 left.
Now again, you can see it in Dunning's eyes when she went into the lane. She was going to the basket, and ELC pushed her out a little bit. She was going to have a tough shot, but she drew the foul. Go to line for 2.
Well, we've talked about defense all night as Dunning rattles the first free throw in. ELC held their opponents to 40 points or less in 16 out of their 27 games last season. They had a couple of others where the opponent barely got above 40, but we've seen why here tonight. Just 17 points for the Bulldogs as Dunning knocks down both free throws. Bella Jo Dunning, 6 points, the leading scorer right now for Algona. And it's a 47-17 ball game, halfway through the fourth quarter. Number 1 ranked Estherville Lincoln Central may not be number 1 anymore when the next poll comes out, but they're getting a nice win here tonight against Algona as Schiltz drives right down Main Street and scores her 11th point of the night. ELC, like we said, has a couple early losses to number 8 ranked Roland Story and number 2 ranked Mount Vernon. I'd have to imagine Mount Vernon's going to be number 1 here, but with the win tonight, ELC might not be too far behind as Dunning's in the corner. She'll try a 3-point ball, missed it off the front of the cup. Different players, same result. No good on the free for Algona, and a tie is forced. Lentz forced a jump ball. She locked arms with Clayball that time on the rebound. Possession arrow towards ELC. But this has been a 0 3-pointer night for Algona after they shot pretty well in three-pointers against Forest City. They had a good percentage. I believe finished 8 of 18 in that ball game, but tonight, those looks from three-point range are just not going down.
Bulldogs did not take one in the third quarter. They've missed 3 here in the fourth.
Pass goes underneath to Jaeger, right underneath the basket. She'll kick it back out to Schiltz. Rotates it around to Rushy. Thought about catching and shooting. A good closeout, though, by Dunning. Rotates it into the corner. Now to Clayball. Now back out to Schiltz. Out to Jaeger if not on the shot clock. Jaeger takes one dribble. She'll drive in. Jaeger slicing to the bucket. Puts it up and in. 12 points by Riley Jaeger. And as you may notice, Haley Stokes is on the bench right now, and this is something that Coach Martindale, I'm sure, is very happy about. Stokes dealt with a sprained ankle earlier in the season, so getting her out with about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter and letting her sit the rest of the game out, not having to play a full game on that ankle, is something that will keep her healthy throughout the season as Coolman bursts the bucket and scores.
There's one of the few times Coolman has been able to use her quickness to get to the basket and keep her balance, keep squared up to the basket. Usually ELC has managed to push her away.
First 2 points of the night for Hayden Coolman. ELC's done a great job on her. 51-19 right now with 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Driving in is Rushy. Rushy taking some contact, fights it up. No, got her own miss, puts it up. She put it down and she draws the foul. 3-point opportunity for Hillary Rushy and a 53-19 ELC lead.
Rushy's had a nice night. 13 points now.
And a chance for 14 as Bulldogs will bring Emma Spear and Gabby Van Tiger into the game. Hayden Coolman and Laura McLaughlin will check out. 0 points tonight for Laura McLaughlin, 2 for Hayden Coolman. The Bulldog 2 leading scorers last season, and ELC just keeping the ball out of their hands, forcing them into tough shots as the free throw is no good. It deflects out of bounds. Dunning and Smith tried to chase after it, and they will say ball stays at ELC as Dunning touched it last. Rushy checks out of the ball game for presumably the final time tonight. Amelia Tarnowski, the 5'8 junior, comes into the ball game for ELC. Starting five did the Lions' share of the work. They played the entire first half. They played most of the third quarter before any substitutions were made for the Midgets, and did their job as ELC is going to even the record at 500, 2-2. Approaching the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Coming around the perimeter is Grace Naff, who also just entered the ball game. Tarnowski shuffled the shoes.
Yep, a little nervous feet there. That last missed free throw for ELC, the first one of the night. They right now 8 of 9 for the night.
Yeah, good teams have to convert on their free throws, and ELC last year was a 74% foul shooting team, so they certainly do not leave a whole lot of points at the foul line. Van Otterloo passes deep in the post to Dunning. Dunning can't convert on the layup, got her miss back, took a hard dribble, and draws the foul. Dunning stayed with that play as the foul was committed by Grace Naff, and Bella-Jo Dunning, of her 6 points tonight, will shoot for 2 more.
Well, again, that's something Dunning brings to the court. Certainly she's a fighter down low. There's 3 ELC players there with her.
First free throw by Dunning goes right down the drain. 53-20 now is the midget advantage.
And, you know, that was an opportunity for improvement for Dunning last year with free throws. She has now, I shouldn't have said that. She missed that one.
The broadcaster jinx is alive and well. It was a fight for the rebound, but a foul against ELC going for that one, so the Bulldogs will keep possession. Foul committed by Morgan Claybaugh.
Well, go back to the point. Dunning had made 3 in a row before that miss, so 3 out of 4 for the night. Nice night at the line. Lenz now to the line for Algona.
Lenz, who emerges as one of the regulars off the bench early in this season for Algona, puts the free throw in. She's on the board for the first time tonight, and it's 53-21 with 1:46 left. Bulldogs after this are going to have another little break. They had a pretty decent-sized break, of course, after they played against Forest City last Tuesday night. Had that Thanksgiving break. Did have a scrimmage against Emmitsburg on Saturday night, but as far as regular season games are concerned, had a little break. Bulldogs will next play on Friday night when they host Iowa Falls Olden to open up NCC play as Dunning swallows up that shot. The block by Bella-Jo Dunning as she hands the ball off to Spear, and now Van Otterloo bursts into the front court. Driving down the lane, Van Otterloo missed everything there with that shot besides the net. Gets it back outside, though, to Dunning. Dunning passes up the three. She'll drive instead. Got inside and scored it.
That was a tough shot. Adjusted it, came back with a little short jump shot there. Nice job.
9 points by Dunning, 53-24, as Dunning's having some nice moments down the stretch here in the fourth quarter. Down to the final minute as ELC has the rock. 53-24 is the midget advantage. ELC will play tomorrow night, like I mentioned, against Sioux Central, so no rest for the weary as far as the midgets are concerned. Smith is pinned in the corner right now. She got the pass away, though, found Nath. Nath no good on the layup. The ELC bench was ready to explode on that one. Offensive rebound vacuumed in by DeRuyter. ELC gets it back outside of 42 on the game clock. Here is a Euro step, and the Claymont shot is blocked. Blocked by Algona, now 37 seconds left. Bulldogs have it across half court. Pass by Spear, knocked out of bounds by DeRuyter. Even the ELC bench players who haven't played all night here until the fourth quarter, they're getting aggressive into the passing lanes and knocking the ball out of bounds. That's something that is prevalent from the top player on the team with Stokes all the way to the bottom of the bench. Corner free-pointer by Lentz, no. Rebound by Van Tiger, tries to go back up a bit with a 180 pivot, no. The third opportunity is put up and in by Spear. Shot clock is off. 53-26 the score right now as midgets bring the ball across half court with 15. They'll get it over to the right side to Nath. Final 10 seconds ticking off this one as the Bulldogs are going to fall to 0-2. They played two of the best teams in the state in their first two games, but ultimately going to be an 0-2 record as ELC comes in and dominates tonight. A lockdown defensive performance for the midgets. They win it 53-26 over Algona. Your final score in this one. Bulldogs just never got the offense going, and they will start the season with a goose egg in the win column. 0-2 record for Algona. ELC back on the winning track. They are now even 2 wins and 2 losses. We'll step aside for a few messages, look at your first, not first half, but the entire game stats after this, and get you ready for the boys game as well. It's all coming up on KLGZ 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Nutrient Ag Solutions, a